This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to the program. Joining me now is John Brummett, columnist with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Good to see you. It's been a couple of weeks that we had to take off. We had one in-studio appearance, but it's nice to see you through Zoom again.
Well, it's nice to be seen again. Nice to be back on. I've been a couple of weeks. Yeah, first, this is our debut for 2023. So let's make it good.
Let's make it good for sure.
Yeah.
All right. We have seen some drama this past week in Washington, D.C. It only took the 15th time was the charm for Kevin McCarthy to get over the threshold. I don't know if you stayed up late on Friday night watching the drama unfold, but it was it's been one for the ages for sure. What do you think that where does this put Kevin McCarthy in terms of his ability to run the House with the concessions that he's given and the fact that this thing, he got in there by one single vote, basically?
Well, first things first, it reveals him to me as a man who wants this job with more desperation than is normal, even for ambitious politicians. I mean, that he was willing to take it in the end by whatever trick of present voting reduced his number of positive votes, whatever it took to get to a majority of those not voting present. And he was willing to give away anything. Matt, what's his name? Gates. What is his name?
Matt Gaetz.
Yeah. He was asked on one of the shows, why did you agree to vote president? He said, I couldn't think of anything else to ask for. Basically, McCarthy just said, I want the office. I want the gavel. I want to be speaker. I will do whatever it takes. And I found it just sort of demeaning to him up there hugging Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was denied a spot on committees not too long ago for her atrocious behavior. And now he's got to try to manage a place with what would be a 4-vote majority, which is not enough to really work with, having cut this relatively small group of 20 or so extreme conservatives in on his leadership team, to the point that he may not be working with them as much as he'll be working for them, with the debt ceiling coming down the pike. I think he's in. I mean, the situation to me seems humiliating and impractical. He seems like he's in a bit of a humiliated and placed in a straitjacket, and that's the way I see it.
Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats only had a 4-vote margin as well. They didn't have the same issues.
Well, but they had a heck of a time getting anything done. They eventually scaled back some of their left wing's ambition and passed a few things, and that's the way it's supposed to work. But you got to. There are Roby, House Republican center-leaning people, more pragmatic, moderate types. There are 28 of them who are a member of a bipartisan problem solvers caucus. There's just plumb left out of this. And at our discussion at the time we're speaking today, I am personally curious as to whether they'll vote for this rule package, which was the basis of the whole thing. McCarthy getting these right wingers by giving them these rules that they want. I guess the moderates, because moderates are also mealy-mouthed and sweet and nice and don't want to make trouble, they'll probably go along. But, in a saner world, maybe the moderates would be the ones with a little passion trying to leverage the center. That could have happened here. The Democrats and a few moderate Republicans could have named their speaker and set their agenda. And that's just out of the question in this hyper-partisan post-Gingrich, post-Tea Party, post-Trump world. Politically, I got to think the Republicans are, at the moment, deeply harmed. I mean, I turned it off before somebody charged somebody and some other person held him back. Did you see that actually happen? I've not seen that.
I did actually watch that. Yes, it was
that's not a good
Alabama.
That's not a good look. I don't think the country is as deteriorated in terms of civility and good sense as its congressional representatives are. And I think there's a great deal of distaste for that kind of behavior. So I suspect polls coming up will show some generic Republican approval ratings way down, I think.
Yes, but 2 years to the next election cycle.
You're going to tell me it's a long time.
And
Yes.
it's there'll be so much performance art in Congress over these next 2 years that I have a feeling we'll be talking about something else come election time. So, but
Maybe
yeah, I think
maybe defaulting on our debt and having a government shutdown. Maybe we'll be talking about that. But there'll probably be something after that, you think? So we'll see.
We'll see.
It was quite an absurd spectacle, I thought.
It did get to the point of ridiculousness at some point.
Right.
So
Right.
I agree with you on that. All right. So back here in Arkansas, we are about to swear in our 47th governor of the state of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's done an interview with several TV stations, AP, your newspaper, the Democrat Gazette, me. Have you learned anything new about what she may do now that she's talked a little bit more on the record than she has throughout the whole campaign?
No, I haven't learned anything new.
Has it confirmed your suspicions of what you thought she would do?
Well, yeah, but she spoke in such euphemism that I don't think she made it clear to anybody out there. I mean, when she says parental empowerment, I hear pretty clearly full bore school vouchers and school choice, even some money for homeschooling, money going to people now having their children in private schools, and I personally view, I know it apparently is an out of favor view, I view that as an abandonment of the basic public education principle of the country, rather than a commitment to make it better. That's what I hear. You gave her a chance to say who's the leader of the Republican Party. Is it Trump? Is it McCarthy? I think her answer has to be Trump, because he created her, and she was able to become governor with the millions of dollars she raised nationally because of her association with him. But she wouldn't say. She mentioned all these various people. I think AP, maybe DeMillo, asked her if she would vote for, or would she support Trump for president in 2024. She said, well, she's just going to concentrate on being governor. Some people might think that her failure to answer that means no, she wouldn't. But I think her answer has to be yes. The problem with this is, I think, and you're involved in it and I wasn't, but she blew off the press for the campaign more than anybody has ever done in this state. She didn't need us. She had disdain for us. Now that she's going to be governor, she wants to flip the switch and be different. And of course, the press goes along because we can be used, because we're trying to do a job and inform the people. But I think she's high-fiving today because she got through it without really saying anything, much less anything that created any difficulty. She softened all the extreme republicanism, conservatism that we're going to get, and avoided any specifics. So it was largely a non-event on all accounts, it seems to me. I will say, you may have to edit this part, Roby. 2 weeks ago, I sat next to you and I called her DeSantis, and I said she's going to govern as DeSantis. I will repeat that here. She is going to govern. We're going to be Florida, and she's going to be DeSantis, even though she probably would favor Trump in a direct competition because she has to. I mean, she basically said it. We're going to do all the culture war. Yeah, we're going to see that coming, the DeSantis Florida things. And I'm going to sign this one, and no doubt she'll sign others. That's just what we're in for. And I think, more than 60% of the people of Florida voted to put DeSantis back. So that's, but that's everything I thought. I now think just as much as I thought it before.
Right. That's the answer I was trying to get out of you right there. Plus, I think you could, she tabbed DeSantis's chief deputy for education to come to Arkansas. So we see that as part of the blueprint. I think you might say she will mirror a little bit of what Doug Ducey did in Arizona as well, too, with her chief of staff coming from Arizona, her head of prisons coming from Arizona. I think we could see a little bit of Arizona in Arkansas as well.
You remember when Clinton brought in some people from out of state? No, you don't. You weren't. Were you keeping up much in '79?
That is before my time. But governors have brought in people from out of state more than once. Cindy Gillespie and the Hutchinson administration was out from out of state. Jeff Tucker brought in Ken James for Department of Education. Mike Preston at Commerce. So this is
Well,
not
sure, they've all
unprecedented.
had some. She's had more. She's having more than we're accustomed to. And my only point is, when I first started covering governors, Bill Clinton in 1979, it was a negative. It was a negative. Why is he bringing in all these out-of-state people? And now the same sort of cultural, populist, chauvinistic Arkansans who resented it then, they're all fine with it. It shows how much our culture has changed and been nationalized, really. We're basically one state watching Fox News, and that's where we are. Now, I will say also, because I'm trying to be nice, really, Sarah Sanders spoke with some ease and some command. I could begin to see her gubernatorially in your interview, and apparently, to her credit, she's not holding against you that you and I are pals, and I'm proud of that. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you.
Well, you let me know, because it will be breaking news when she sits down and does an interview with you, my friend. That's what I want to see more than anything.
Well, we'll not get past the first question. Are you still for this insurrection? Are you still for this insurrectionist who's selling trading cards of himself? Are you? She'll say, I want to talk about being governor, and I want to go back to that same question, and then we'll accomplish nothing. So it's best that we not even go through that exercise. Don't you think?
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. He's John Brummett with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. We'll have a lot to talk about this next week as we see some speaker chair appointments, confirmation of some cabinet members, and who knows, maybe even a highway commissioner or PSC commissioner gets named this next week. You never know.
And there might even still be some simmering difficulties within the Republican conference in the House of Representatives. Maybe. We'll see.
All right. John Brummett with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, buddy.